Hello everybody, I'm Carolyn Hernandez here with Newswatch interviewing our brand new principal at Medway High School, Dr. Murray. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm John Murray. I am the principal of Medway High School. This is my second year here, and I'm so excited for another fresh start.
That's great. So where did you originally come from before Medway?
So I grew up in Boston, born and raised in Boston, Massachusetts. I went to school with the idea that I was going to be a teacher, and I was a history teacher at Brockton High School for the first 8 years of my career. And then I've been an assistant principal in Dedham, associate principal in Lexington, prior to coming here as principal.
And is there any particular reason why you're here at Medway High School? Like, what brought you to us?
Yeah, so it's a really personal choice to find a school that fits with your own core values and your ideals. So I never planned to apply to every job in the world. Each place that I've been has met something that I cared about. And so I really liked the strategic plan of where we were going as a school. I got to meet people in the community. I live nearby as well, and I knew that the school, the students here, and the community really aligned with my own personal beliefs and wanted to be a support and help to this community.
Oh, wow. And on that topic, like, what do you think of the school and the students? I mean, is it everything that you hoped it would be?
Sure. You know, I get up excited to come to school every day to try to make the high school experience better for all of our students. For the families in our community, I know that every student that comes through here, they have one shot at high school, they have one shot at each grade, and it's really important that we put a lot of time and energy into what goes into that experience that prepares students for college, career, and beyond. And so my first year in this experience has really seen really kind, caring students, empathy for one another. And we still have a long way to go as well to make sure that we are helping all of our students achieve and find success beyond Medway High School.
And do you feel that that's along the lines of why you decided to become a principal?
Yeah, I really enjoyed being a classroom teacher, but when I was a teacher, I also ran a lot of clubs and activities. I was advisor to the National Honor Society. I coached sports. I ran clubs. So I got to see kids from a different perspective. And one thing I like about my role as principal is that I get to see them in the classroom when I visit classrooms, but you can also have an impact on a student who needs something, needs support in a different type of way. And I know that my position as principal, sometimes I don't like to think I'm that big of a deal, but once in a while the weight of the position can help a kid get ahead when they need something or they continue to face barriers and roadblocks to what they're trying to get done. And being able to help a kid progress is really great for me. It makes me feel like I've had an impact on somebody's life.
Wow. So would you say that that's how involved the principal should be? Like, how involved do you feel like you should be in the lives of students? So I feel like to be a good principal, you really need to be aware of everything that's going on in the school, and to be checking in on things and be visible in the community, in classes, in the hallways, at lunch, in the community. And I never feel like I can do as good of a job as I hope to do. My hope is that there isn't a student in this school who doesn't know who I am, know something about me, or know that they can come up to me if they have a complaint or a concern, and that they know that I'll check into it or I will connect them with someone who can help them out. So I think the principal really has to be the cheerleader for every student, the number one support for every kid, the number one support for the teachers who are helping the students. And I don't hit the mark every day, and that's you know, when we don't do enough for a student or a teacher, we take all of that responsibility on as well. But I think you have to be fully involved, hands-on with everything. And would you say that's the biggest challenge you face as a principal, is trying to keep up this whole, trying to keep up your reputation with the students as someone that can be welcoming to them whenever they have problems? Because I do feel that there is this stigma that principals are hard to approach and they're more of a higher authority.
Yeah, I try to I try to combat that. I know that my own principal, when I was in high school, he wore a 3-piece suit every day, and he said to us when we first came to the school, look to your left and look to your right, and one of you won't be here on graduation day. And I always reflect upon my own experiences, and I think, well, I don't think that's who I am, and I never want to be that person. I say, look to your left, look to your right. Someone's going to help you get to the finish line in June of your graduation year. And I purposely don't dress in a manner that is unapproachable, and I try to keep it a little relaxed so that I'm approachable, and people see me at games and at theater and drama and things like that, so that they know that I know a little bit about them, and I feel bad when I don't know everybody's name or can't connect on everything that matters to that student, but I hope that the takeaways are, if somebody needs something, they know they have support from me.
And it seems like you're on the right track on trying to create a safe environment. So based off of that, how do you feel your span will reach across the high school? Do you plan on making any changes so that the rest of the community feels more welcomed into the school?
Yeah. So I believe strongly in the core values that we've established for our school, and I think it's going to be important to take the core values of active continuous learning for students, equity and empowerment for students, and relationships built on mutual trust and personal wellness. Those are things you might see in some of our classrooms on posters. And my hope is working with staff and with students to find opportunities to bring those to life, so that we're incorporating student voice into our decision making through our school council, through opportunities to meet at lunch. So periodically last year, and I'll start again soon, I had food for thought luncheons where we had students sign up to have lunch with the principal and share whatever's going on, concerns that they have, and I would bring those to either a group of teachers or to the school council, which has students, teachers, and parents on, to try to make change that's incorporating the student voice. We haven't had many opportunities yet this year to take that equity and empowerment conversation further. It's a goal of mine, something I believe with my whole heart, that every student should have equal access to the curriculum, and it shouldn't be based on what level you're in. Students who want to stretch and strive to take something should have opportunities to take those. Students should be welcome no matter what background they're from, what beliefs they have. Everybody has a home at Medway High School, and so we need to continue to find opportunities to incorporate that through our clubs, through our Fridays in the foyer, getting that message out to students that everybody has a place here.
Yeah, and I can tell that you're making a lot of changes around the school to have students and staff be more involved. One being advisory, which is a common topic around the school. Everyone's talking about it. What would you say is your vision for advisory, the future of it? What might it look like for us?
Yeah. So when I came to Medway High School last year, there was a lot of discussion about the advisory model as it was at the start of last year, and one of our teachers did a tremendous amount of work putting together a curriculum for all the teachers and the students to work through, but there wasn't that sense of ownership by the teachers of the curriculum. They felt it wasn't totally authentic in their relationship they were having with their students and their advisory, and I think students felt the same as well. They didn't understand why we had this time built into our schedule. And so we took a shift mid-year after talking to students. I had a food for thought luncheon for students to get a lot of feedback about advisory and with the staff. And we all decided we'd try something different to see how it worked. So the advisory model was based on student choice. And so currently we still have the every other week model for 25 minutes. And this year it's built into our Infinite Campus system so that students can go in, select the option that they want for their 25 minutes every other week. Now, it's not perfect. Students have to take the time to sign up for the course, maybe think ahead and talk to a teacher and say, I need to meet with you, can you book me in? There's some norms that we have to work out in that, And I've heard as well that it may not be as often to make a difference. 25 minutes every other week is just a drop in the pan. Yeah. And so that doesn't necessarily mean that students aren't meeting with teachers after school or during their prep blocks. So my vision for this is, how can students get support from teachers built into the school day? Mm-hmm. And so those are some of the longer term conversations that I hope to have with students and with faculty and with parents, that our students are very busy from the time they leave school. All the clubs and activities they're involved with, they may not have that time to get that dedicated support from their teachers. Our teachers are very busy after school as well, and there's multiple students to support. And so how do we provide that access to everyone on an equal playing field? And so if it works out for you that you have the same prep block as the teacher who, you have the same study block as a teacher whose help you need, mm-hmm. like that works out. You get that support if they make that happen. Mm-hmm. But if it doesn't line up, how do you get that support? And so I really want to have an even playing field for all kids to get support built in during the day. And I think there's a lot of opportunities for enrichment so that you can meet with your guidance counselor during the day. You don't have to miss a class to do that or hope that they're available before school. I think we could do news mm-hmm. To students during a flex block if we had something like that more regularly. I know that all of our students are not reading their email all the time, and that's a skill that we're trying to develop with our young adults, but that will come. And so I think there are multiple opportunities with this, and it's something that's happening in many of the area community schools, community high schools, that are finding ways to build in more time during the day for students.
Well, from what I can hear, you have a lot of challenges ahead of you, but I feel like you're on the right track.
Thanks.
And I am so glad that we had to have this conversation and everyone got to hear what you had to say. I think we'll all be taking a lot from this.
Great.
So thank you very much for joining us.
That's great. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
Would you have anything else to say?
Please feel free to reach out with any questions or concern. I'm always happy to help and be a resource.
All right. Pat, thank you very much for joining us.